I'm gonna just go ahead and record. Okay. Okay. Hi. So, tonight we're gonna hear from Brielle. Brielle is gonna just kind of go into like her story. So I'm not gonna say anything about it, but I met her in Boston, and we were just like besties from the second we met, and I just love her to death. She is a freaking powerhouse, you guys. Triple diamond, killing it. She killed it the last couple months when it was supposed to be slow season. It wasn't her slow season. So we're gonna get all the deets from her. So I'm just gonna kind of like let you start with why you joined, all the things about your story, and then we'll go from there.
Hey guys, so yeah, like she said, my name is Brielle. I am 24 years old. I started this business when I was 22. I was going into my senior year of college and I was a major dork in school. Like I got 1B in college and I acted like it was the end of the world. I called my dad hysterical crying. He thought someone died. I was like, no, I just got a B. So when I found this opportunity, it was perfect for me because I was able to work my business, finish my senior year strong, and incorporate, all that craziness into one lifestyle. So I was really excited to be able to do that, graduated from school, and I'll be honest, my business did not start out very fast. I wasn't one that promoted to Ruby like right out of the gate. I didn't really know what I was doing. My enroller, she quit pretty soon into me being in the business. So it definitely was not, an easy start, but I was eager to learn. So I was one of those people, like I would go to the gym and while I was on the treadmill cooling down, I would give myself a product a day to learn about. Or I would watch a YouTube video. I was obsessed with Morgan Martin. I would always just watch YouTube videos and I just taught myself. So if you guys have Lakin as your upline, you are lucky because it wasn't until I was a couple months in and I started enrolling that Kim kind of noticed me in her e-suite and she was like, who is this girl? Like, I want to help her out. And shortly after that was when I started promoting and doing more with the business. I was really just self-taught when I first joined. So that was that. Then I had not promoted to Ruby yet. I went to my first conference I think I was like 6 or 7 months into the business. And I, again, had no idea what I was getting myself into. So if you haven't been to conference yet and you are feeling like that, I mean, you gotta go because it changed the game for me. I get there and I watch all of these people go up on stage for our Millionaires Club, which I didn't even know existed. I was just like, what? You can make $1 million with this business? That is freaking insane. I was mind blown. And so then all of a sudden I just like went home and I was like, okay, Kim, tell me what I have to do. Like, I'm going to do it. Because if all you have to do to be successful with this business is just listen to your leader and be coachable, like just tell me what to do. I'm going to do everything you tell me to do. And shortly after that, I promoted to Ruby. Then I promoted to Emerald and got the $5,000 bonus the month after that, Diamond in the summer, which was like a month or two after that. And then I was building in the fall and ended up promoting to double and then triple right after that the following year of conference. So I pretty much promoted back to back both times after conference. So if you're not already going to conference, I mean, that just goes without saying. I'm sure Lakin already tells you need to get your butt there because you see people be successful and you're just like, why not me? I can do this too. And it was just that excitement of seeing all those people there that really got me going. And got me enrolling. I just was eager to learn and went from there. So that's pretty much my story, I would say.
So there are a couple of things I wanted to point out, you guys. Drop a 1 if you're new on here. And new does not have to mean like you enrolled this month, but within the last 60 days. I just want to kind of see like what variety we have on here. But the one thing you said, you were self-taught. So just really quick, I just want you to kind of explain that. So sometimes I feel like so many people in this business think, well, I can't be successful if my enroller quits, or I can't be successful if my enroller if I don't feel like I know people or like all the things, you know. So what did you do besides, like, did you just go to YouTube? Oh, sorry. Is my connection okay? Sorry, something popped up.
I can hear you. It's just like a little iffy.
Okay, sorry, that was super weird. So what I was saying was, did that look like just watching Morgan on YouTube? Like, is that what you did mostly, or did you do other things?
Yeah, I could have used my excuses as a reason to quit, for sure. I could have said, like, because I didn't have a huge network either. I was super shy and awkward in high school. So when I started my business, I think I had like 200 or 300 Facebook friends. Now I have 5,000. Think I had like maybe 300 followers on Instagram. I wasn't really big on that. I didn't even open an Instagram until I was a sophomore in college. So I was kind of new to that as well. And then my enroller, yeah, she did not help me at all. But what I knew was that I invested in this and I'm not a quitter. Like, I wanted to make money and I knew that what I had in my hands had the potential to give me money by watching other people be successful with it. So I was like, okay, if I can do it, then why can't I? That was my biggest mentality. And yeah, I was super busy at the time, but guess what, guys? Like, if you want something, you'll make the time to make it happen. So I was sick of at first, I definitely did let my excuses like get to me, and I just kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. But then I was like, all right, if I can learn how to do this and then just do it, then I could be like them. And eventually that got me to triple diamond. So
yeah, no, I love that. So many times I feel like people do get discouraged so easily on, like, if in the first 72 hours you don't sign a customer or your business isn't like flourishing, you think, oh shit, this is just not for me. Like, what did I just invest my money in? So sometimes, you guys, it just takes a little bit of time. Businesses are not like linear. Like, businesses have ups, they have downs, but staying the course is what matters. So I love that you said that about millionaires clubs too, because when I went to my first conference, I was like, what? There's that many people? There were so many people on stage that had made $1 million. So let's jump into growing your network. Growing your network is something you just talked about, how when you first joined, you had like 300-ish friends. Now you have 5,000. So let's talk about like the key points of how you grow your network. Do you use Facebook? Do you use Instagram? And if you use both, talk about like Facebook first, then Instagram.
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm 50-50 on both. For Instagram, I would say that my favorite thing to do is, I love reality TV. I'm a reality TV junkie. So I will go to like reality TV star. I will click on their most recent photo, see who liked it, look for people that look my age that I could be friends with, because that's a big thing for me. Like, I want to be friends with my team. It's just my team that's on here knows that we're besties. So that's who I look for. I look for my next best friend, someone that's smiling, looks happy. Another thing I'll do sometimes too is I'll go to locations. Like, I love baseball, so I'll go to baseball fields and I'll go to a public profile that's like someone that posted the location of the profile, and I'll just start like following people that liked their photo. So very similar. I found a couple of my distributors that way. Then on Facebook, host post wasn't a thing when I started the business. Now I'm obsessed with it. That's pretty much the main way I grow my network right now. But I went to 2 different colleges. I transferred schools. So I live in New Jersey. I grew my network in New Jersey, but sometimes people are not the nicest in Jersey, especially like North Jersey area. So I went to my other college in Virginia, which people are a lot nicer in the Roanoke and that area. And I started just adding friends of friends in that area. So a lot of my network is actually from the South because I grew my network there. So I'm big on like friends of friends. I just started recently getting into Facebook groups. It wasn't in that before much. But I've been adding and trying to interact in those groups and then adding people through there. And then of course, host to post as well. I'm very, very big on. So that's my main ways, I would say.
Yeah, no, I love that. So my question for you is, so after you have followed them and then after they accepted, what is your method of like obviously you don't message them right away and say, hey, you want to post for me? So what do you do after they have added you back or followed you back? How do you build that relationship with them? Because I feel like that's where some people, especially newer people, get stumped. They feel like, oh, I have to message them initially. And then sometimes they scare them off because that's what they feel like. Oh, they just followed me for that reason, you know?
Yeah, so I'm big on interacting. I definitely try and just set my timer and do like 15 minutes a day of just intentional interacting. I'm not going to answer any messages during that time. I'm swiping up on stories. I am a major foodie. I'm Italian. I love food. So people that post their food, like I'm always swiping up and being like, oh my gosh, how did you make that? Usually I try and do a question or where did you get that shirt, because it requires a response. And that way I know like we're going to start talking, and then all of a sudden I'm going to see that little bubble. If we're on Facebook too, you'll see if they're looking at your story, and I'm like, oh, like now I know you're watching me. And I also message a lot of people that I see are looking at my story too, because I know they're already looking at me. I'm always trying to show my face on my story. I'm really, really big on just branding myself. So even if I haven't interacted with them, people kind of know who I am because I'm always talking on my story. I'm always being me. And I'm, like I said, I'm a dork. I have hermit crabs for pets. Like people know I go live with my hermit crabs on my story, and people love that stuff. They literally, I haven't made a video in a while, and I had someone message me, how are your hermit crabs doing? Because people know Brielle and they know that I have a little family of hermit crabs. So they are interacting with me before I even interact with them, because that's who I am.
No, I love that. I actually, fun fact, I used to have a hermit crab when I was like in third grade, and then it died, and I was torn. I was so torn about it. That's so awesome that you have them. So branding stuff. Let's talk about that really quick. So what do you do when you brand yourself? For those that are brand new, they might think like, what does that mean? Because sometimes people in this business think, oh, I have to be just like her, or I have to be like all of the other people. Like I know when I first joined, I was a like brand new mom, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't wear makeup and my lashes are not beautiful, like, you know, all the typical things. And so what do you feel like you brand yourself, like what do people know you for other than hermit crabs? How would you tell someone to brand themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like what are your best tips for that?
Yeah, so I always, the first thing I do when I sign up a distributor, this is like a system, my distributors do this too, is I pretty much ask them to tell me their main qualities about themselves, like their 5 pillars, we call it. So like 5 big things about themselves that like, if you look at them, you're going to be like, oh, Brielle, she loves fitness. Like that's one of my things for me. I just signed a distributor tonight, and she told me that she's a cross between Phoebe and Rachel. I was like, okay, you are awesome. Like I don't even know what that means, but that's awesome. Like she told me 5 things right off the bat about herself. So I kind of already know what she's all about. And now she's going to start I'm going to start like being like, okay, you told me that you were a dog mom. So we're going to start posting about how you're going to be able to, afford your dog's food every monthly, or stay at home with your dog potentially. So for me, what I do is like people know that I post like little workout videos because I'm a group fitness instructor too. So I have like my own hashtag strong not skinny, and people will repost that. Like they'll repost my workouts in their story, and it's like a thing now. So I find out what my distributor's 5 things are, and then I'm going to show them how to incorporate that into the business and show their followers who they really are. Because people are going to join you for you. They're not going to join someone that you're trying to be. And guys, it's okay to be a failure sometimes. Like it's okay. Like if you go live and you mess up, like that builds character. That makes you real. So I mean, I say like and on my stories all the time. I stumble, I hesitate, you know, I spill things all the time. I'm just very clumsy. I think Cassandra's on here. I see her smile. She's on my team. Like, people know on my team, like, I always post whenever I spill something because people just think it's funny and they know that that's me. So yeah, be yourself. And it sounds so cliche, but like, people want authenticity, and just be you.
Yeah, no, I love that. I actually, for those of you who don't know me, I have 2 kids. I'm 23 and I have 2 kids, and I'm obviously stay at home with them. So earlier, it's funny that you said that, be you, and how you say like, and my live today on Facebook was a literal shit show. Like, my toddler comes in, wants to help, is freaking out, and I just kept going with it. I used to in the beginning, like, let that really like fluster me, and I would just immediately hop off and then delete the whole video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't want to see that. Like, I'm deleting it. But I've had people message me from that, literally saying, like, just like Brielle just said, be you. And they're like, I see that you can really be in this business and just be a mom and be who you are and have all those things happen. Like, you're real. People don't want to see perfection. So I love that you said that. So let's go with, like, let's start with loyal customers. So give us all of your tips on loyals. You love host to post. So you do a giveaway every single month for loyal customers, like, to get host to post up?
Yeah, Kim, who's like my upline in the business, our team all does a huge giveaway. So this month we're just doing Target gift cards. We usually switch it up monthly. I am definitely big on messaging people because now I'm finding that when I post about the giveaway, I'm getting the same people to post for me all of the time. So guys, like, don't be afraid to message people. People want these like, if you guys have a giveaway going, then someone said I sound like Kim. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, she's my best friend, so we both live in New Jersey. So if we have a giveaway going, people are going to want to join that. And I mean, it's the holidays. Who doesn't want a Target gift card right now? I kind of make them feel dumb if they say no to me. I'll just be like, no worries, girl. I mean, just figured free is free. Who doesn't want Target money during the holidays? So I'll do like the laughing, crying emoji. A big thing that I've been doing too is debate host to post. So during Thanksgiving, I asked if people liked pumpkin pie or apple pie. And if you commented which one you liked, then I was giving you an entry for the giveaway. I can send like in an example of that too. So every single person that commented, I would add them as a friend, message them, and then have them do a post about the product or the opportunity for me. So I was getting new people to host a post for me. I just started recently picking up host to post on Instagram too, just on stories. I've been liking the opportunity one the most. I'm getting a lot of new followers from it too, which is awesome. Because they see the post and they creep on my page, and even if they're not gonna sign up right away, they're gonna be watching me. So I love host to post.
Yeah, I love that. So we're going to talk about the Instagram host to post in 1 second, but I have a question. So for loyal customers, let's talk about, so when you are talking to a customer, do you automatically, like, do you always ask them to upsell? Do you have a message for that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you're, and also, you know, when you're in a conversation, like, what is your best message for upselling? But after you've already signed them, what do you do to take care of them after? Because I feel like that's where, especially in the holidays, like, people want to feel like you really care about them. So what do you do to take care of them after they're in the system?
Yeah, so I would say my biggest products are between hair, skin, nails, and Thermofite X. Like, all my product host to posts are for the two, one or the other. I kind of base it on the age too, by the way. Like, if someone is like in their 20s or younger, I'll do hair, skin, nails, because I feel like every like young girl wants to grow out their hair. But if someone is in their 30s, 40s, 50s above, I'll do weight loss. Your metabolism is slowing. You want the Thermofite X to boost it. If someone has an amazing network, give them opportunity or the debate host to post because I want to get all of their friends and add them to my friend list. So that is that. Now, when I message them, I automatically give them a description of the product. Like automatically, I'm telling them like, hey girl, like, so our ThermoFight X, it's our plant-based metabolism booster. That's clinically proven to help you lose weight 2.5 times faster than diet alone. It's a vegan vitamin you take twice daily, something along those lines. And then I say, does that sound like something you could benefit from? So that way they know exactly what it does right off the bat. And usually people are going to ask you the price next. 9 times out of 10, I always like sharing a before and after I share the pricing, because they'll be like, okay, this is going to be worth my money. Those results are amazing. So I'm going to need to get some of that. Like, what do I need to do to sign up? So usually I'll just give them the price of, the retail price versus the loyal customer pricing so they can compare it. And I'm just starting out with the ThermoFight X or just the hair, skin, nails for now. Then I'll explain, then if they say sounds good, awesome, I'll explain the challenge, sounds good, get them over to text, hey, it's Brielle, how are you? And then I always ask them, I get their info 9 times out of 10. Hey, I'm just sitting by my computer right now. That's a lie. I don't even use my computer. But hey, I'm just sitting by my computer right now. Are your billing and shipping addresses the same? Let's get you in so we can get your results kickstarted. And then they send me their info, and that's when I upsell them every single time. I don't upsell until after I have their information. I've been using the same 2 upsell messages for hair, skin, nails, and also ThermoFight X since the spring. And I would say when I went triple, I sold I had 60 customers or something like that month, and half of them were 90 BV and above because I upsold them at checkout. And I can send those messages too. But basically it just goes to some little something like, perfect. By the way, I'm getting your order in now, but since you already have my 40% off discount on the ThermoFight X, let's get your results kickstarted even more. And you will be able to have, you'll be able to get the Fat Fighters and the Cleanse for only, I think it's $64 extra. I don't add up the whole total. I just say $64 extra. Did you want to add that to your first order to get your results kickstarted? And I would be surprised because everyone just says, sure. Literally, that's always their response. It's always just like, sure. So I was like, okay, let's get you in. And then sometimes they love their results so much that they continue to order those same products throughout their months, not just the first. And going into what Lakin was saying with taking care of them and everything, I am always in their inbox right away. I send them our fitness app, especially the Live Fit app, if they are interested in losing weight. That's big for me, especially because I'm a fitness instructor too. So I'll always tell them listen, I can give you some of my workout tips and everything. Follow my Instagram. I'm always giving tips on there. Of course, if that's not you, you don't have to do that, but our app is amazing. So that takes care of most of it for you to help enhance your customers' results. Lately, what I've been doing is texting my customers 2 days after too, and just saying, hey girl, I'm so excited for you. Thanks again for supporting my small business. Shoot me a text as soon as your products come in, and I can send you some tips for the best results. And 9 times out of 10, they'll shoot you a text. And then it's really just about knowing that they care that you want them to get the best results. So sending them all your tips on getting, you guys, if you have been in the business for a bit, you've probably used the products, and so you know how awesome they are. And if you're excited about them, then your customers are going to see that too. So remember to keep that excitement and even share your results, and then they're going to want to kind of go along with you and maybe take a before picture and share that with you.
Yeah, I actually love that you said that. So, there was something that you said, my phone's blowing up with like questions to ask you. So, what did you say? Oh, about your customers. So I love that you said that about the Live Fit app, because so many people forget about that. And I feel like I
Mhm.
know I personally stopped using it for a while, just let's be honest here. So that's a really good thing to implement, you guys. If you don't have it downloaded, if you're like, what the heck are they talking about? Go download that right now. It's an It Works app. And it is honestly like so good for people who really don't, like Brielle and I, we love like fitness, but if you are someone that's like, I haven't set foot in the gym since like high school, or like I don't have time to do that, like that does it for you. So really utilize that. I love that you reminded me of that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's awesome. And they actually recently updated it too. So you can pick the diet that you are following. Like if you're following a paleo diet, keto, whatever, it
Whatever.
customizes it to you. And all the workouts are from home. So you don't have to stress out about going to the gym or anything. And it's going to help
No
your customers get better
excuses.
results. So,
Yeah, no excuses. Okay, so let's go to DT. So,
mhm.
so I'm getting like so many questions for you about that. So you talked about how you build your business, you want to have best friends. So do you find most of your distributors on Instagram, like, or is it 50-50?
I would say 50-50, but of my distributors, I like to think that I find the more quality ones on Instagram,
Yeah.
because Instagram, for the most part, I'm doing a mix between messaging and attraction marketing. Facebook, I'm really just doing opportunity host to posts, which can kind of be a mix because you never really know what you're going to get with that, who's going to comment on it. It can be a little iffy sometimes. I have found like some of my girls on here are from Host to Post, love them, and they're awesome. Love you guys. But I would say I even told Kim today, we were on Zoom, and I was like, I just love messaging for distributors on Instagram because it gets me so hyped that I get to pick who I message. I could literally be signing up my next rock star through this message. You never know. Like it's like a lottery almost, and it's
Yeah.
exciting. It gets me hype, and that's what I love about this business is finding the things that I love to do, the things that are fun for me, and that's fun for me. Like I love.
Oh, one sec. I don't know what just happened.
Sorry, did I just freeze?
It's
Sorry, guys. One of
okay.
my potentials just called me. I hung up on her.
We're like, no, it's okay. So
Yeah.
you said you were saying that's what's fun for you is where it stopped.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I love messaging for distributors, and honestly, I found a message from Erin Tweed actually that I'm obsessed with, and that's pretty much the same. I've tweaked it slightly, but that's what I've been using. I like it because in the beginning of it, it says, I'm sure you've gotten this message or something similar to it a million times. And most of the time people will be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, they'll just laugh it off. But like, I like how you worded it, or you're so kind for being original with it rather than just, hey, like, join my team, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
So people appreciate the authenticity in the message too.
I love that you said that. We use a message kind of similar to that, and it's done wonders for it's done
Hmm.
wonders for us. So let's talk about, so when you're looking for distributors to message, what do you look for? I had a girl ask me today, like, I'm struggling. She felt like she was struggling with finding quality distributors, quality
Hmm.
people. So what do you look for when you're messaging someone? Do you have like a little checklist that you go by? And yeah, let's start with that.
Well, one thing I'm always thinking about is I have my list of 5 things that I want in a distributor. The biggest thing for me is like that they're coachable, they're positive, they're loyal, like a couple big things that I have in my mind. I even saved it as the background on my phone when I was like hardcore building and needed to chart myself for triple, because I was like, these are the qualities I'm manifesting. Like, this is what I'm going to enroll, only people that are these qualities. And so when I message people, I was intentional about finding those people, and I still am today. So what I do is I'll kind of, like I said, I look for people that are like me in some ways. So I'm always messaging people that look like my age. I'm a college alum. When I first started, I was in college. So I messaged college students when I first started. Now I'm not a college student anymore. So I kind of actually hit a little rough patch because I was messaging a lot of college students.
Oh, hold on one second.
You're good.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Okay, I think she muted whoever it was. I don't even know who it was. All right, continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. So I kind of lost who I was for a second because I started this in college. So I was like, oh, like I'm going to message all the college students. But then I realized like I wasn't relating to college students anymore like I was when I first started. So now I look for people that are college alums, that maybe are the single girl that's just kind of like looking for a job to do after graduating. Maybe they're in an entry-level job, or like a new teacher. I sign a lot of teachers, I feel like, because what teacher doesn't want to make extra money, especially when they're just starting out? So people that are new into their jobs, mid-20s, that's what I look for, because I want to find people like me. So whoever that is for you, think about those things. The girl, Amy, I don't know if she's on here. I signed her up. Yeah, a couple of her team is. I don't see Amy, but Amy, I enrolled in September, and I actually found her because I went to Fenway Stadium, and like I said, I love baseball. So I clicked on a profile, saw she was at Fenway, followed her. I ended up messaging her because she just like looked like me. It was so crazy. And it's so funny because she is like literally a version of me. She signed up that day. I feel like I've known her my whole life. And yeah, I mean, now she's like a rock star. She's pretty much going to promote to Diamond like next month, most likely. She's very close to Emerald. And she's just like another version of me, and that's what I want to look for. Is just not that I like love myself or anything, but I just want to find new best friends, and that's what you guys should be looking for, because that's what makes this business fun, and that's what's going to make people stick around as distributors for the long haul, is new friendships and staying with people that they actually want to be around.
I love that you said that. I actually have someone on my team, like, it's funny, her birthday is literally 2 days after mine. Like, we are very similar, so it's funny that you said that. You made me think of her. So let's talk about, so not everyone is going to stay on your team forever. Not everyone is going to be in the long haul or here for the long haul. So what do you say to your distributors that have people that quit? Because let's be real, you guys, I built myself to diamonds, and then everyone quit, and I had to go again, and I'm a triple diamond, and so it happens. But what are your best tips for those who have had it happen and they just feel like so discouraged because they feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot get past this certain part of my business because everyone keeps quitting?
Yeah, trust the process, guys. Everything happens for a reason. So, and I know that you probably have heard that before, but it's so true. Just know that if you continue to build, you're never going to find yourself in a stuck situation. Like, you should never ever be stuck in the business, because if you're working consistently, the harvest is always going to be coming, and you're always going to have people that are working on your team. But guess what? If you don't, that's okay. Like, you can be the worker on your team. When I went diamond, I had one girl working on my team, and that was it. I was just like, okay, I want this for me. I'm just gonna do it, whether people are coming with me or not. And then guess what? It's almost better to have people working with you after you hit diamond, because then you're in cab central. So I don't know if you guys know, if you're newer and you don't know what a cab is, but basically you make way more money once you go diamond. And I mean, if you go diamond and then find your runners after that, you're going to make even more money. So be grateful for the process and everything that happens. And just know, like, people are always watching you too. So if you're enrolling, your team's going to be enrolling. Like if I slack off for a week, my team knows that. Like, we have a boom chat where we are sharing our enrollments, and like, no pressure or anything, but I have to be booming, because if I'm not booming, my team is not going to be booming either. If I'm not excited, my team isn't going to be excited. I had a girl recently that was upset because her whole team quit. And I was like, well, are you having fun with the business? And she's like, honestly, not really. Like, she's working the business like a chore, like an actual job. She's not working the business like the fun, amazing job that this is. So that's why her team is quitting. They're not excited. So how the heck do you expect like people to stick around if you're not excited? Then it's just gonna spiral down. So first, get your head right, get yourself in the right place, and then your team's gonna follow. But just remember, like, you're not always going to have a million people working on your team. Like, it's a business, you guys.
Yeah, I love that you said that, like, asking your distributor if she was having fun. It sometimes takes, like, some real self-reflection to realize, like, okay, well, I do know where the root of the issue is, because just like she just said, you guys, it does come from us. We are the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. And I used to think that little saying was like such BS, but it's so true. It is so true. So let's talk about, what do you do every day? Like, a lot of people are super organized. I am not one of those people. I am trying to become one of those people, but what do you do, like, task-wise? And like, do you have a daily six list that you, like, printed off? Some people do checklists. Like, what do you do every single day, and how do you organize it?
It's funny because I'm a green, but I'm not organized. I'm more so green because I'm just like a perfectionist, and I'm very meticulous in what I do. But I'm very bad at writing things down. Like, I am not good with my calendar, but I need to be. It's definitely something that I need to improve on as a leader myself. But I'm very good about getting my non-negotiables done for the day. Like, that is that I'm always going to send 40 messages for distributors every single day on Instagram, 10 when I first wake up, another like 10, after I eat my breakfast, go to the gym, whatever, another 10 before dinner, another 10 before I go to bed, always 40. And usually when I message 10 people at a time, I'm also following 40 people on Instagram at that same time and just whipping it out all together. Then on Facebook, my goal right now, every single day, we have a group chat with a couple of the leaders on our team, and our goal is 8 host to posts every single day. Yesterday, I wanted to get it ×2, and I hit 15 host posts on the day. I was so mad at myself. So today, my goal is 20 to make up for it. So sometimes I go above and beyond just because I'm extra, but 8 is my bare minimum every single day. No ifs, ands, or buts on the host post. Also posting, not always necessarily about the business, to my story and my feed. Sometimes, like I said, I like to do a debate. I just posted something on my Facebook to Christmas songs, love them or hate them. That's literally all I did, just to get some interaction on my feed, something to break up my It Works posts. Another thing is definitely following up. I do more so my follow-ups during the morning time, just because I like to crank them out first thing, bright and early. People have the entire day to see it, and if they don't answer my follow-up in the beginning of the day, I'm going to hit them with a, did I catch you at a bad time at the end of the day. I always say, did I catch you at a bad time? Especially if someone saw my host post message, I can see it on Facebook. They saw my message. So I always say that. Another big thing I like to do is I'll say, like, my phone's acting up. Did my message go through? And it's so funny because people respond to that, but then they won't respond. Like they didn't respond to my follow-up before. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like I was driving, whatever. Sometimes people just are busy. So don't get discouraged if they don't answer your first follow-up. It happens. And sometimes just a simple follow-up like that, people will respond to. So those are my main big, and self-development, always self-development. Usually when I first wake up, I spend like the first half hour trying not to be on my phone and just my me time and making my coffee, listening to, I love Rachel Hollis podcasts. That's my favorite, I would say.
She's the bomb. We went to her Rise event, and I'm not even kidding. It was life-changing. So I love her so much. I didn't really I've never read her books. I haven't read either of her books. So after the conference, I actually downloaded them both on Audible to listen to them because I just love her voice. And seeing her in person, I was like, oh, I can connect with her now. So it's funny that you said that. So I want to go back really quickly because I totally forgot to ask you this. I just kind of jumped. Sorry. So when you sign a new distributor, what's your method on getting them started? I feel like a lot of times, especially when it's your first couple distributors, you're like, oh my gosh, how do I train this person? You're so excited but you don't know what to do. So what do you do to train them to make them successful or to help them be successful?
Yeah, we have a specific system in place. We actually use a Google Docs, our entire team, with different steps for what to do. Our first thing is basically, like I said, literally asking them about themselves, tell me 5 things about you. And I'll usually use that to create a little welcome message on my story or whatever, just so they feel welcomed into our new family. Then the next thing, signing into their eSuite, just filling out their tax info. I want them to see eSuite right away. And then the third thing is that we have them watch a video of us sharing our Because of It Works, myself and a few of the other leaders. So I don't know if you guys have anything similar to that, but even if maybe, you introduced your new teammate to Lakin, then awesome. They have someone else that they kind of can go to. Let's say, I don't know if you've worked full time, sometimes you can't always get to your teammates, and that's okay. Your upline is there for you. I always tell my girls, don't hesitate to be in my inbox. You can blow up my inbox as much as you want. The only time I don't answer my phone is I'm sleeping or at the dinner table, because I still live with my parents, and my mom will yell at me if I have my phone at the dinner table. So that's pretty much the only time I don't answer my phone. So I'm here to help. After they've watched that video, we have training videos on Kim's page as well. They're 45 minutes long. Just kind of the basics, keeping it simple. I tell them, write down any questions you have, and then we're going to set up a 15-minute time to Zoom. And that is before we even get up their first post, send me messages, because I want to create that face-to-face connection with them. It kind of, when you lock eyes with someone, all of a sudden they want to stay with you. That's that. If someone on my team is newer, if anyone, how do I say this? If someone's let's say I'm looking at Melanie right now, and she's on my team and underneath Amy. So when Melanie enrolled, we Zoomed with Mel and Amy, because Amy isn't Emerald yet. So anyone that's an Emerald or above on the team, I give them permission to have the one-on-one with their new teammate. But if you're Emerald and above, I kind of let your wings fly and do the one-on-one Zoom, just one-on-one with you and your new teammate. And it's really quick, honestly. We just kind of keep it simple to what questions did you have from the training videos? Did you understand what a loyal customer program is? And then let's get you started on your dirt list and messaging people that you could literally sell dirt to. And that's pretty much how we go over the Zoom.
Yeah, I actually love that. So for the Google Doc, could you send me it so we can create our own with that?
Yeah, I can send you, so Cheyenne Knox, she
Yeah.
actually did the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll send you hers, because hers is awesome, and then ours has like our
Yeah.
videos linked to our page, so you won't be able to see half of the thing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I'll have Kim send me Cheyenne's, and then
Okay.
yeah, but that's pretty
No,
much how.
that's such a good idea because you guys, I'm so bad at this, but I'm like, okay, I'll do a video. I'm gonna make the video, and then like my children are doing something crazy, and so I never get to it. But that's the one thing I have on my list before bed tonight is make a video, because I love that you said that about how your downline can always have another person, and then they see your face and they connect with you. So and your Emerald leaders, that's so awesome. So when after you've already like got their dirt list, do you immediately do, like, we call our dirt list our 30s list, so same thing, like, do you just have them send a message about them joining? What does that message look like? Because that message, and then do you sorry, my daughter just woke up, do you move from the 30s list to host to post? Like, what do you do with that, like their first couple messages?
So usually I kind of look at their network myself, and I will also ask them how their network, and sometimes they even say like, listen, I don't think a lot of my friends or family is going to support me, and that's fine. So if they say that, then I'm going to automatically give them host to post, because I don't want them to, I want to get their first win ASAP, because that's what it's going to get them excited. And even if their first win is just a host to post, they're going to be excited that they got a host to post up. So if someone's network is awesome, they're like, oh yeah, I have 5 people in mind that I could probably get to order products from me. I send them a message like, hey girl, I just started a new gig as a brand rep and I'm super excited about it. Would you be willing to support me and be a product tester for my new business? Can I send you more info? And the host post message is very similar. Like, I just started a new gig as a brand rep. Would you be willing to support me and post a quick status for me in exchange for an entry? So one or the other. Sometimes I give them both options, and sometimes I'll give them the first option of the product tester, and it kind of seems like it's a little dry, and they hit the stage where they either have to follow up or the people are going to be watching them or they have to pay. So I'll be like, okay, like, let's get them to host a post then, and go from there, and we'll just skyrocket from that point.
Yeah, I know. I love that. So I was wondering, do you guys print your friends list? Like, do you utilize that?
I did print my friends list before. I haven't recently. A lot of times what I like to do, one, I'll go on my Facebook actives, but a lot of times I find that I'm messaging the same people, so I haven't been doing that lately. I unfollowed. I thought of this for unfollowing first, and then I started messaging for host to post the same way. I think of a name, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to message all of my Melissas today. And so I literally just message every single person that's named Melissa. And then same thing, whenever I unfollow on Instagram, like, I'll unfollow all the Melissas that aren't following me back. So I like to think of that. Sometimes I'll write down the names so that way I'm not repeating the same names over and over. But that's what I've been liking doing lately. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I love that. So a couple more questions. So really quick, on Instagram, you said that you love to do opportunity host to post, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does that look like for you? We do, I've been doing like product host to post, but what do you do for the opportunity?
I can send you what mine looks like, but basically, I'll message people most of the time for distributors, asking them to be a distributor. And if they do say no, or they say like they're just too busy or whatever, right off the bat, then I'll be like, okay, hope I'm not bothering you. Would you be open to sharing a quick status or a quick slide on your story for me for an entry for a giveaway instead? And then they'll do it. Sometimes if someone doesn't look like they would necessarily be a great distributor that I follow, I'll just message them just like I would on Facebook to host a post for me on their story. But I mostly do message for distributors. And then if they tell me no, then I'll message them and ask them to host a post for me on their story.
Awesome. I love that. So you talked about Rachel Hollis being like your favorite self-development. So let's talk about like for new distributors, what would you tell them to do for self-development? Like, do you have, when you first started, did you read a book? Did you listen to a podcast or like a video on YouTube that like really made it click or like changed the game for you?
Mm-hmm. I was definitely a non-believer at first in self-development. I didn't do it at first, and that's probably why like after I hit Emerald, my entire team quit, and I messaged Kim, and this was like the only time I truly considered quitting in the business. I remember walking outside, pacing in a circle and just telling him like, oh my God, my whole team quit. What do I do now? Like, this is awful. I finally got this bonus and now what the heck, I'm going to lose it. And Kim was like, girl, like you need to do some self-development and you need to get over yourself and know like it's not just going to always be like an uphill battle. Like it's you actually grow the most during the parts of your business where you aren't necessarily promoting. Like I didn't promote during the summer, but I can tell you that I am a totally different girl than I was in the spring, like way better mentally. So with that being said, once I started, I started with a podcast because I'm not a huge reader. I also listened to a lot of audibles as well. I started with Grant Cardone and I made it a non-negotiable. I would go sit in the sauna or on my way to the gym. I would listen to his 10 times rule. That was the first book I read. Listened to. The first book was 10 times rule. Then I listened to Be Obsessed or Be Average. I loved both of those. And I would say that's what got me to Diamond, because I did hit that little rough patch in between where I had to grow a new team and start over a little bit, erase the chart, which it's okay to do. And I realized that from listening to self-development. And then, lately I've definitely been into Rachel Hollis and just making that a part of my day. I definitely was not disciplined with that enough when I first started. And I regret that because it's the reason why my business probably didn't shoot up the way a lot of people do when they first start or incorporating self-development.
It's funny that you said that because I went in Diamond in 3 months and then literally did zero self-development. I thought like I was way too good for it. My mindset was and then we crashed and we burned and we needed self-development so much. And you were so right when you said like you grow the most when you aren't promoting. That is so true. Like it's almost like you need that growth to promote and to go to the next level. Like you can't just jump.
Mm-hmm.
Like there has to be a growth period. So I love that you said that. So I just want to take like the next couple minutes. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat so Brielle can answer them before, our time is up. There was something the one thing I was going to mention that I didn't mention earlier is if you guys aren't all going to conference, you guys need to. She said she promoted twice after conference. I promoted at conference. Didn't you promote at conference too?
I promoted, double I promoted in February, and then triple I promoted in April. I had 1 month in between. I was so excited because March was my building month. I had to get myself charted for triple, and I was on the family call for being a top enroller. I enrolled 10 distributors in like 5 days, and it was the best. Like seriously, like that was the best recognition I could have ever had. The most exciting thing of my life, honestly, guys. Another big thing I could tell you is find out what motivates your team to, like, I love recognition. So if your team thrives on recognition, then don't hesitate to give that to them. Like shout them out in your chat. We have a Savage of the Week on our team, and whoever like literally goes savage during the week, we announce it every Sunday night on our team huddle. And savage doesn't have to be someone that necessarily promotes or even enrolls like crazy. Like our first Savage, Michaela, she is literally someone that just like always goes on her story and tells it like it is. Like she's just straight up. And that's why Cassandra, she's on here. She was the Savage of the Week this week, and she's a boss with Host to Post. Like she's a savage. So if you guys like figure out what motivates your team, that is so big. Even like if it's just freedom, like like having the freedom to be in the business, like that's exciting to them. So make sure you take advantage of that. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but make sure you find out what does motivate your team, or if it's the relationships, like if they're a major blue, then use that. Like make sure they're in their inbox, getting them to events, building that relationship with them, because that's what they thrive on. So
I actually love that idea of having a Savage at the best thing I've ever heard. So Joel asked, are most of your distributors from Insta or Facebook?
I would say 50-50. Yeah, definitely 50-50. I like opportunity Host to Post, and if I'm really going hard on it, I'm gonna get out as many of those on Facebook as I can, because Instagram is kind of like iffy. You never really know, like, are people gonna respond to me? I'm getting out 40 a day. Can't get much more than that without getting blocked. So right. I definitely do like more so, I would say, attraction marketing on Instagram and getting those quality people through that. And then Facebook is more so like finding the masses through as many opportunity Host to Posts I can do.
Right. So really quick, so do you, when you're messaging on Facebook, are you selective with the messages, or do you just send them out? Like, I'm going to just send them out and whoever can post.
Like, am I selective with who I ask to Host a Post?
Yeah, like for an opportunity Host to Post. Like, do you look at their network, or do you care? Like,
I definitely,
sometimes people can surprise you, but.
Yeah, I would say I definitely look at their network. I want someone that has like a couple thousand Facebook friends to be hosting a post for me for the opportunity. And if their Host to Post does blow up, then I'm most definitely going to be in their inbox. Like, hey girl, like I would hate to be the one making all the money from your network when you could be signing up all these people and making a couple $100 from this business. So don't hesitate to do that too.
It's almost like eye-opening when they're like, oh my gosh, I actually do have a network. Okay.
Yep.
They like surprise themselves. There was someone that asked me, my daughter took my phone, so I don't have my phone. But I think, I don't know what she said. Maybe she'll message it in here. I had someone text me, but I'm like, don't have the message anymore. It was something about distributors. Maybe she'll post it. Does anyone else have questions before we hop off? I know she has another Zoom right after this. I'll give it like 20 more seconds. If not, I will upload this.
Our Zoom isn't until, Ashley had Zoom at 9:20, so you're good.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't know which 9 o'clock, or I wasn't sure. Okay, so I don't think anybody else has questions. If when I get my phone back, I'll probably just message them.
Yeah, and then just message me. I forget what I said I was going to send you the verbiage for, so just message me whatever. And